Anything in common, hence common denominator. What's in common on all three? What's in common? Go ahead. X minus 2 is in common. That's going to go in there. And if you remember from last week, not only do you put what's in common, whatever's left over. So what's still left over from those three denominators? A 3. There's your common denominator. 3 times x minus 2. Got to be able to find a common denominator to start any of these problems. Now, next. How many fractions did I have? 3. You're going to multiply all 3 of them by what you think the common denominator is. And watch what happens. So let's take this first fraction right here and multiply it by 3 times x minus 2. What's on top and what's on the bottom that's going to cancel? Oh, I just got rid of the denominator. What's left? 3 and the multiply them. Multiply them. What do you have now? 3x plus no denominator, right? We canceled it. That's the goal. Cancel the denominators. That's your goal when you do these solve problems. Cancel the denominators. What's my next fraction? 4/3. Multiply it by 3 times x minus 2. What's going to cancel? The 3's. Gone, gone. Now you got to be careful. I did this to you right away on the first problem of the day. What are you going to end up multiplying? -4. -4, right? Because that negative sign, that subtraction goes with the 4. -4 and x minus 2. So that'll become minus what? 4x. Now watch your mouth. Not -8, +8, because I'm distributing the -4. Do you see how the denominators are canceling? And watch what I'm going to end up with here at the end, something from Algebra 1. All right, last fraction on the right side. Multiply it by 3 times x minus 2. What's going to cancel? X minus 2's. You should have no denominators left. I should see no denominators on your second step because they've all been canceled. And what's left to multiply? 5 and? Okay, so what's on the right side now? And if you made it to this point in your math career, we're good now. I shouldn't have to hold your hand to solve this bad boy, right? Combine your like terms. What do you get on the left side? Combine your like terms. 7? -1x plus 14 equals 15. What's up next? 13. -x equals 1. One more step. 4. One more step. So x equals -1, maybe. Maybe. So does everyone see? I get x equals a number, which is what solve means. Hey, x equals this number. Now comes the second part, which is what? Check. How have we been checking in our calculator? Okay, so everyone, let's remind ourselves again. Ready? Take your answer first. -1. -1. Hit the store key. Store it in for x. And here's what you are here's what you're checking in your calculator. When I type in the left side of the original equation, I'm going to get a number. Does it equal the same number when I plug in the right side? So everyone go ahead. X plus 2 over x minus 2. I'll do it with you. So fraction x plus 2 over x minus 2 minus 4/3. Is everyone getting -5/3 out? Now type in the right side, cross your fingers, hopefully I get -5/3. Because if the left equals the right, I got the right answer. So now I'm going to type in 5 over x minus 2 and see what I get. 5 over x minus 2. We're good. The left and the right are equal to each other. And that's what I wanted. Got to be able to find a common denominator, though. Yep, go ahead, Nick.
For questions like that on the test, would you want us to write the answer we got on our calculator? And
That's not an answer.
Okay.
That's not an X value.
Okay.
That just shows you that this number is correct. Okay, this is the final answer. That's all that's showing. Anything else? Good question. All right, let's go. Let's grind. I see an equal sign. I need X equals at the end. All right, before I find a common denominator, though, what's it look like I can do to one of these? Yeah, so do it. If you can factor one of the denominators, do that before finding the common one. So x squared plus 7x plus 12. We are way too deep in the unit to review how to factor that. 12, when you're ready, let me know your numbers.
X plus 3 and X plus 4.
Whew. Good. All right, now look at your denominators and let's see if you can find a common denominator. Anything in common? What do the denominators have in common? They have an x plus 3 in common, so that better go in there. And they also have something else in common, right? X plus 4, great job. Any leftovers? Nope, so there it is. That's what I'm going to multiply all three fractions by now, is that common denominator. Let's go. The goal, all denominators cancel. You should never be left with a denominator or something went wrong. What cancels here? The plus 3s, yep. What are you multiplying? The 5 and the x plus 4. Go ahead. 5x plus 20. Next, multiply by your common denominator again. What cancels on this second one? Plus 4s. Better watch yourself.
-3.
Distribute a -3, yep. Throws everything off if you just distribute a positive 3. So minus 3x and what else? Minus 9. Equals, a little something happens on the right side, huh? What's canceling over here, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. So what am I just going to write on the right side of my equal sign now? 2, 1. That's all that's left. Nothing to multiply it by because everything canceled. Can you handle that? Hope so, right? If you're advanced to this level. All right, combine your left side for me. What do you get? Oh, 2. What do you get? Combine your left side.
2x plus 11.
Go ahead, move your 11 over. 2x equals 10. And maybe x equals 5. Go ahead and check. I'm not going to check. We did it in class. All right. Wait till we get to the next problem. And when not checking burns you. But it's fine for now. It's fine for now. This 5 does work. But you don't check, it's going to burn you. And I'll show you in the next problem why it's going to burn you. Again, type in the left side, you'll get a number. Type in the right side, hopefully you get the same number. If you do, 5's an answer. All right, we're good with 5. How we feeling? Can I up it now? Can I up this level now? This is good. This is nice, right? You're comfortable. Now I'm going to make you uncomfortable. Any questions right now? All right, let's get uncomfortable now. All right, I can't factor any of the denominators, so let's talk about a little CD here. Common denominator. What's in common? Look at all 3 denominators. What's in common? Okay, they do. The first 2 have an x in common. Great. Leftover. And x plus 1. Good. Because, hey, a lot of people say, wait. They have the x in common. No. This goes together. When you have pluses and when you have an addition and subtraction sign, you consider them just as one whole thing, not 2 separate ones. So, yes, the x plus 1 is in common. Is the leftover. Excuse me. That's the leftover. All right, there's your denominator. Ready to multiply all 3? Because something's going to happen real quick that you're not going to like. All right, let's multiply this first one by x times x plus 1. What cancels? Yeah. Remember, denominator should always cancel when you're solving. Here's what you're not going to like. What's left over to multiply? X plus 1 times x plus 1. That's going back to your Algebra 1 days, right? Remember doing these? Remember doing that? Ooh, boy. How? How do I multiply them? A lot of distribution, right? A lot of distribution. So you get what here? X squared. What do we get here? 1x. Okay, now distribute the 1. What do I get here? X and 1. Be prepared. You're going to do that a lot. And then combine your like terms in the middle to get what? X squared plus 2x plus 1. That's what I end up with there. X squared plus 2x plus 1. And again, that's how I got it. Right here. That's how I got it. Don't worry about the constructions. Remember those days? All right, next. X times x plus 1. What's going to cancel again? All right. Now what do you got to multiply? X minus 1 times same thing. A lot of distribution, right? X plus 1 times x minus 1. Okay, real quick. Ready? X times x. X squared times negative 1 minus x plus x minus 1. Make sure, hey, I saw a lot of people in my last period class, they try to add. You're multiplying the entire time, remember. You are multiplying. What happens to the x's in the middle? See you later. So this final one is x squared minus 1. So going back to that problem, plus x squared minus 1. We're getting there. Equals. Let's see what's going to cancel on this side now. What's going to cancel here? Ooh, nice, right? Nice. What's left over to multiply? X and go ahead, distribute. X squared plus 6x. Good. Can you guys help me clean up the left side before I do anything? How many x squareds do I have over there? 2x squared. Anything to combine with this 2x? Nope. So plus 2x. What happens with the ones? See ya. Go on. X squared plus 6x here. All right. Here we go. I'll let you drop some knowledge if you know before I say anything. Anybody know where to go next? Remember, I need x equals at the end, right? Everyone see the x squared? anytime I have x, I don't care if they're on one side, both sides, anytime I have an x squared, you need to make one side equal to, anybody remember? 0. There you go, Jane. There you go. Got to make one side equal to 0 so you can factor. Now, which side do I move over is the question, right? Do I move the right over or do I move the left over? You always want your x squareds to be positive. Correct. I always want them to be positive. So how's that going to happen if I move the left over, if I move the right over? Move the right over. Good. So everyone take your right side. How do I move x squared over?
Subtract.
Yep. How do I move the 6x over? Let's do it. Move it. Move it. Anytime I see an x squared on one side, I got to make one side equal to 0. Keep your x squareds positive. So you will have x squared over here with, what happens when you subtract 6x? Minus 4x equals 0. The reason you made it equal to 0 was so you could factor. Okay? Some of you had this on the quiz and tried to do difference of two perfect squares. It's not. Good try, though. What do I always ask for first? There is one. What is it? Take out an x. What's left? Oh, boy. Shouldn't have shown that. X minus 4. Yep. Now, how do you figure out what your answers in this case are going to be? You're not going to have just one. You're going to have a couple here. How do you figure out what your x values are from here at this point? What was your GCF you took out? X, right? So set it equal, whatever your GCF is, set it equal to 0. What's inside the parentheses? Set equal to 0. So it could be 0, or maybe I have an answer of positive 4. Yep. If you just circle these right now, you're going to get burnt. Check them. See what happens when you store in 0 right now. Not bad on time. Something happening? What's happening in your calculator? You get an error? Everybody getting an error when you store in 0? Yeah. Here's why you're getting an error, because you can't have 0 in the denominator. Okay? That doesn't mean we're gonna get rid of any answer that's 0. But in this case, it's gives me an error, so guess what? Rejected. We reject that answer. That gives me an error in the calculator. So that's why you could get burnt if you don't check. There's not two answers here. There's only one. And hey, if 4 doesn't work, then I have no solution. All right? If 4 does work, but if 4 didn't work, then I have no solution. What's your deal?
4 didn't work for me.
That's hot garbage. That's because that is a 1, and in your calculator it is a 4.
Okay.
That's what we call one job in this class. Yes. User error, right? User error. All good? Questions? So got to check. Got to check. All right, I'm doing one more. Now I'm not a big fan of question number 4. All right, but we're going to go right to the homework, and we're going to do number 2 together right now. Well, not all of it. We're going to start it, you're going to finish it, and then you're going to go over to number 1 and see if you can do it all by yourself. All right, ready? Okay, here we go. Nothing to factor. What do you think the CD is here? A little common denominator. What do you think? Nothing in common. What's the leftovers? P plus 1 times P minus 3. There's your common denominator. All right, here we go. Multiply the first fraction, p plus 1. What cancels on the first one? P plus 1, yep, good, done. So I'm going to end up distributing that p and getting p squared minus 3p, yep. Take your second fraction. What's going to cancel here?
P minus 3.
Yep. So distribute the 3 and get 3p plus 3. All right, this is why I'm doing this with you. First time this happened today. You see the 1? You can't just ignore it. It still has to be multiplied by the common denominator. You can't just overlook it because it's not it is a fraction. It's 1 over 1. So I still need to multiply it by p plus 1, p minus 3. And for the first time today, is anything going to cancel? No, nothing's canceling there. So what do I need to do? Ready? 1 times p plus 1. P plus 1 times p minus 3. So you're going to have to do your little double distribution here. All right, so even though nothing crosses out, you still have to multiply those two together and write it down. So what is that? P squared. Anybody want to help me out? Minus 3p.
No. Negative 2p.
I'm not there yet. Relax. All right. Plus p minus, what's the last number here? Multiply, not add, multiply. Minus 3. Are we all right? Because I'm seeing some confused faces there. You have to multiply the 1 by the common denominator. And what's on the other side?
0.
You still got to multiply by it, but is it going to matter? Why is it not going to matter that I do? I have to, but it's not going to affect anything. Why? 0 times anything is 0, so that's not going to affect it. But I do, like, hey, when you go over this problem on your own, you're going to have to multiply 1 by whatever the common denominator is. Okay? So you guys combine your like terms. It's already equal to 0, so you don't have to move anything over. Combine your like terms, factor, and we'll see if we get the correct answers out. Go ahead. You got to take the lead here now. And I'll just let you know, you should end up with p equals 0 and p equals 1 at the end of this. 0 and 1. If you can't, I'm walking around, let me know. If you can get 0 and 1, go on to the next, go on to the one to the left. And I've only suggested 3 problems out of the book tonight. 3. So if you want to take pictures of those 3 before you leave, go right ahead.